Okay, so we're going to talk about something that, I mean, it's not the biggest issue at the moment, but I have heard a lot of people talking about it, and a lot of people arguing that their freedom to do this is being taken away, and a lot of Republicans on the right are using this as a huge arguing point for their views and other things like that. And also, if they're, I just want to make this clear that no matter what a person is labeled, whether we're labeled Republican, Independent, Democrat, religious, non-religious, our label does not define us. And so just because you are labeled Republican, that does not mean that you cannot understand that discrimination is wrong. And I would just like to make that point. Anyways, what I'm going to get on to, what we're going to talk about is freedom of speech. And I feel that a lot of people who are talking about it really have no idea exactly what they're talking about. They get angry and they say their right to express themselves and have their views and thoughts and ideas to be heard are being taken away from them because people are being told to stop, or on here, maybe on YouTube, you've been blocked by somebody who perhaps does not believe the same way you do, and you left a comment on their profile or on one of their videos, and they blocked you. And then you sit there and say, oh, well, that's not fair because they shouldn't have blocked me because of, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. Well, you know what? I have to admit, I have blocked people on here. And I even have a little disclaimer that shows why. And it's because you're right that you have the right to express yourself and freedom of opinion and freedom of thoughts and ideas and of religion, to say what it is that you feel that you should say. But there's also a line. There is a law in place that protects public interest, protects citizens, and um, protects people from being harmed by people who would incite violence. And so you say you have your freedom of speech. You say you have your freedom to speak the way that you want. So what do? You go out on the street with a microphone and you talk about how gay people must die and how we must destroy them. Or you hear these morons talk about how all Jewish people must die and that the Holocaust was a good thing, like the Westboro Baptist Church has to say, and stuff like that. And you know what that does? That incites other people who feel the same way. It incites violence. It incites anger towards gay people or towards Jewish people or towards whatever group of people whoever happens to be talking does not like. And so when you sit there and say comments like I've gotten on here, like, I hate you, you stupid fag, I'm going to step on your neck and break it. That's not an opinion. That's not an idea. That's not you expressing yourself. That's a threat of violence. That's a threat of murder. And that's inciting violence. And that's saying that you are going to cause bodily harm to me. So that is no longer falling under the realm of freedom of speech. You have now entered the realm of inciting violence and hatred towards another human being. To the end as to which you are expressing is saying that you would want me to die, that you would want all gay people to die. And so when you do things like that, when you go out on the streets and you say things like fags must die and they must burn and I want to shoot them and things like this, if you have an opinion, if you don't agree with that I'm gay, you know what? I've had people come on here and say, I don't agree with homosexuality. I think it's wrong. Or my religion tells me that gay people, um, that there's, whatever it is. You can come on, go ahead, come on here, leave me a comment. Say that you don't agree with the fact that I'm homosexual. Say that you don't agree with the idea that people are born gay. That's fine. But when you come onto my profile and you leave comments or you go on other people's profile and say, you're a stupid bag, I hope you die, I want to shoot you in the face, I want to hit you with a brick, things like that, you're not expressing anything. You are inciting violence. You are threatening and making um, comments of bodily harm to someone. That's not freedom of speech. That's not. And when you see these people get up on the news and they talk about how gay people are depraved, and they make up all this nonsense about how these lies and statistics that they just pull right out of the sky that say that there's something mentally wrong with gay people, or that our presence in areas cause certain things like STDs and other things to skyrocket, all things that are untrue. Lies like gay people have more sex than heterosexual people, another lie that's not true. If gay marriage is allowed in states like Massachusetts and our children are taught to be gay, they have classes that teach young people to be gay, more lies that are untrue. What does this do? This causes people to think that, and there are groups that even do that. They call it the gay agenda, the evil homos are out to, take over our country. And what does that do? That gets people angry. That makes people want to, get arms together and go out and shoot people and cause and do the violent things that they do. I mean, look back at the neo-Nazis. I mean, the neo-Nazis now, but look back at like the Nazis, the original Nazis. The violence that was done, the hatred, what was that all started by? That was started by people. If you want to defend that, because if you're going to talk about freedom of speech, if you really want to say that, then we would have to say that these people were expressing their views of hatred towards Jews, which then precipitated in violence towards Jewish people and the death of thousands upon thousands upon thousands of innocent people. So you want to call that freedom of speech? You want to call the death of other people because you wanted to talk about how much you hated somebody? That's not freedom of speech. Okay? That's inciting violence. That's creating hatred. That's stirring up lies and dishonesty about a group of people that you don't like. You want to say you disagree with it? Then say you disagree with it. You want to come at me with facts? Then come at me with real facts. Come at me with truth. Not the made-up crap. Not the stuff you hear on TV. Not stuff you repeat because you hear your pastors say it, or because you hear your senators or whoever you hear. Stop being a puppet. Think for yourself. Have your own thoughts. That's what I'm doing here. I'm not telling you this is the way you should believe, and I'm not telling you really anything. What I'm doing is sharing this thought with you and letting you know that this is what I see, this is what I believe, and then expecting you to, in the same manner as I am, in a kind, understanding, sharing way, to be able to express your views back to me. But instead, no, many people can't do that. Instead, what kind of comments would I get on here? Oh, you just need to go die. I mean, really? Come on. Seriously, people. That's not freedom of speech. You need to go back and you need to re-educate yourself, because obviously you don't understand anything you're talking about. And that's the sad part, is to hear, to see the people in the news that are talking are people that have no idea what they're talking about. And they shoot off this crap, and then other people who have no idea what they're talking about hear it and they eat it up, and then they repeat it, and then suddenly, just because a whole bunch of people said it, suddenly makes it true when there's actually no fact and no basis to it. And so yeah, that's my little rant for the evening. It's like almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep, and I felt like talking about that because I kept seeing videos and watching the news and hearing people, talk about that. And I'm sorry, but wanting to cause hatred and violence and bodily harm towards another person and speaking about it and trying to cover that up and cause that an expression or freedom of speech is bullcrap, because it's not. Freedom of speech is me coming on here and saying gay people deserve all the rights and freedoms as heterosexual people. And then if you disagree with that, then your response would be, no, I don't think that gay people should have the same rights and freedoms as heterosexual people. That would be a normal response. But like I said, once again, I'm only sharing my views because I want to hear your views so we can share our views together. Because that's what it's all about, learning from each other. Peace, everybody.